for me this one.
Two-step with my G's, no Gucci. Me and old miss in the back of the soup tea. Smith and Wesson, bust like Susie. Corn just missed, cause we aim for his 2p. Dreads on my head, now she calling me cutie. Baby girl, stop, let me touch that cutie. I don't want love, let me grab on that booty. The mash slap once, but it didn't slap twice. On it down, then rise. Sand on the bang, made the birds then fly. Draw pages, all I see is lies. What's all the fuss, all the ops soon die. Free all the ops, fill them up with bind. Free all my guys locked down inside. Canteen stacked if I ride in life. I got my bros like I got my 9. Got extra shows when we go on glides.
3-2, let that rip. 3 straight shift locked up doing bids. In a trap that shifts on shifts. Shotgun seat rolling with a glitz. Feds wanna know more about old Miz. In the store low, my broski biz. Back it out if we get in a mix. Bullets faster than you probably.
AK Live produced it.
Yo, it's Kingdom of Boxing. I'm back. This Saturday, we've got the Dillan Whyte vs Alexander Povetkin fight going down. They're calling it the Rumble on the Rock. And I'm here to drop my prediction. So before I drop my prediction though, I'm going to give you a few stats on each fighter, talk about the last 3 opponents, and then last but not least, I'm going to drop my prediction. So stay tuned for that. Firstly, we've got Dillan Whyte, who's got 27 wins, 18 by knockout, 2 losses, both by KO. He's 32 years old. He's been pro for 10 years. He stands at 6'4". He's got a 78-inch reach, and he's coming with 62% power. Now Alexander Povetkin, he's got 36 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 25 wins by KO, 1 loss by KO. He's 41 years old. He's been pro for 16 years. He stands at 6'2", and he's coming with a 64-inch. No, he's coming with 75-inch reach, and he's got 64% power. So from there, we can see that Alexander Povetkin is 9 years older than Dillan Whyte. He had no business really losing. Dillan Whyte had no business losing that last fight, but you know, this is power. We're talking about the heavyweight division, so anything goes. But Dillan Whyte still has the advantage in youth. The last time they fought was almost 8 months ago, so that works in Dillan Whyte's favour as well. The time they've had off, and I believe that works in Dillan Whyte's favour. Alexander Povetkin's doing nothing but getting older, slowing down more and more, so Dillan Whyte's chances are better in this fight. I think they're better in this fight, but it's very hard to say because, you know, that last fight, it was very... This fight altogether is just a very, very hard fight to like predict in the first place. But let's talk about the last 3 opponents anyway. So Dillan Whyte's last 3 opponents, or last 4 fights and last 3 opponents. 4 fights ago he fought Del Boy, where he knocked him out. The fight after that, it was Oscar Rivas, who he beat. And then he fought Morisco Whack, whatever you call him. And then his last fight was Alexander Povetkin, where he lost. That's the only loss he took in them last 3 fights. And Alexander Povetkin's last 3 fights, or last 3 opponents, were Anthony Joshua, which he lost that one by TKO. And then he fought Hughie Fury and beat Hughie Fury. Then he fought Michael Hunter, where he got a draw with him. And then he came back out of the blue and knocked Dillan Whyte out in the last fight. So it's a crazy one. From the last 3 opponents, like, you can't take nothing. Like, when it comes to Alexander Povetkin, like, it's just very unpredictable. Like, you can say yes, he lost to Anthony Joshua, but then he came back and beat Hughie Fury, which is a decent fighter. But then after he did that, you can say arguably he lost to Michael Hunter. It was given a draw, but you could arguably say that could have gone either way. Do you know what I'm saying? So the Michael Hunter fight was everybody thought Michael Hunter's going to get knocked out, Povetkin's going to win that one easy, but it wasn't easy for Povetkin. He looked very old in that fight. He didn't look himself. I don't know if he forgot to juice up that fight or just didn't feel like he needed it. But after the Michael Hunter performance, the disappointing performance by Povetkin, he came back out of nowhere to spark out Dillan Whyte with a spectacular knockout in round 7, if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm pretty sure it's round 6 or round 7. Now let's talk about Dillan Whyte. Like, the Del Boy knockout was impressive. The Oscar Rivas fight was good at first. At the end, it was very edgy, very the Mauricio whack performance. Like, can't really, you know, it was a decent performance, but can't take too much from that because I don't rate whack that highly. But then it came back for the Alexander Povetkin fight where he was doing very well. He was doing well. I was comfortable. I wasn't really on edge in that fight. I was a little bit. I was on the edge of my seat a little bit. I was worried for Dillan Whyte a little bit. But after the first 2-3 rounds, I got more and more comfortable. I thought, oh, Dillan Whyte's got this. Do you know what I'm saying? And he dropped him twice in the fight. He was winning on points. Povetkin looked like he was ready to go. And out of the nowhere, he just pulled out an uppercut and just put Dillan Whyte to sleep in the ring. It must have been the knockout of the year. That was devastating, especially being a Dillan Whyte fan and watching that shit. It hurt. It was disgusting. It felt disgusting. But that's why I love boxing, you know, because it brings them emotions into the person. Not like football or fucking basketball or hockey, where all these people are just team players. No, like, and plus, their favourite players aren't getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? In boxing now, you're watching your favourite fighters getting knocked out, getting punched in the face, or getting them all sorts. So boxing, man, you can't fuck with it. Boxing's like, it's obviously the greatest sport in the world, and I'm pretty sure most people agree with me. If you really, really break it down and think about it, look at all sports and look at what they bring and what they don't bring and how they. But that's a whole different topic. But let's talk about my prediction. I'm gonna be an, what do you call it? I'm just gonna be predictable and predict Dillan Whyte in this fight again, like I did in the last fight. I might be calling me a fool for doing this but at the end of the day, like, nobody can call nobody a fool for predicting anything in this fight, because in my opinion, this fight is very, very. This is like the hardest prediction I think I've ever done. This is harder than Triple G versus Canelo. This is a harder prediction I've done. It's just so unpredictable with Povetkin's power, Dillan Whyte's chin, Povetkin's age. You know what I'm saying? It's just a fucking madness. But I'm just gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna back the UK fighter. Dillan Whyte's one of my favourite fighters anyway. I was gonna back him no matter what. So I'm going with the Dillan Whyte. But I think it's also, I'm not just going with him just because I think, oh, Dillan Whyte, because he's my favourite fighter, one of my favourite fighters, or he's from the UK. No, I actually feel like if you watch the first Dillan Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin fight, you'll see that Dillan Whyte was doing very well. He can outbox this guy. He can do a lot. He can drop this guy. He can hurt this guy. So he's got the age advantage. He's got height advantage. Even though it doesn't matter in this fight, like I said, because it just takes one shot. Povetkin's used to fighting guys that are taller than him. That's nothing to him. Like 2 inches. That's his same height. It's the guys that are really tall that give Povetkin problems. And the only problems that Povetkin has, only people that can give Povetkin really problems is just getting Povetkin to work his way in to hit you, because he's so short for a heavyweight. Even though he's 6'2", do you know what I'm saying? I don't class that as short, as that's actually a tall in my opinion, but it's short for heavyweights for nowadays. So, but like I said, I'm going with Dillan Whyte in this fight. I feel like his youth, his confidence from the last fight, even though he got knocked out, I feel like he's still got the confidence there. If he watches the fight, just everything before the knockout, if he watches it, he will take away a lot of confidence from that fight. I feel like he's got the mindset, the mind belief that he knows he's made a mistake and he can't drop his guard in this fight. He's got to really put it on Povetkin. He's really got to show Povetkin who's boss, who's the bigger man, who's the younger, stronger lion in there, instead of like trying to be technical with Povetkin, which is not going to work, because Povetkin is 41 years old. This guy's been doing this shit since nappies. This guy's got power from nowhere. Like, the guy's a veteran. He's a typical, he is the definition of a veteran. He is literally a veteran in the ring. Like, he could have easily beaten Anthony Joshua. He could give Tyson Fury problems actually. And Dillan Whyte, to him, you know, he knows all he needs to do is just land one clean shot on that chin, and Dillan Whyte's sleeping. So, but I'm going to go with Dillan Whyte in this fight. I feel like the age, the speed, the reach, the jab, and the fear of what happened to him in the last fight. I feel like what happened to him in the last fight, he never saw that happening in his wildest dreams. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like he actually underestimated Povetkin without underestimating him. Like, subconsciously, he underestimated him. But I'm rambling on too much. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. 10 minutes actually, so it's about right. So like I'm saying, I'm going with Dillan Whyte by, I'm going to go with around 9 TKO. No, I'm going to go with around 10 TKO. I'm going to go with Dillan Whyte, around 10 TKO win. And let's see him get that. Let's see him get this W, because this W, this is everything for Dillan Whyte. This is all or nothing for him. So if he doesn't get this W, he's going right back down there to the bottom. Forget about world title shots. Forget about pay-per-view fights. I don't even think he can make him pay-per-view if he gets knocked out again. So, but it's all on Dillan Whyte now. It's his chance. Everything's set up for him to win this fight as well. Like, his promoter's got his back. The fight's in Gibraltar, so it's a British colony place. Like, I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn's got it on Smash, but even the Povetkin's got a very strong team behind him as well. I feel like this fight doesn't matter about the judges, doesn't matter about scorecards or politics and this and that really. All that matters is what happens in the fight, because somebody's getting knocked out. I guarantee somebody's getting knocked out. If Dillan Whyte doesn't get knocked out, Povetkin's getting knocked out or stopped. I'll bet him money that this fight doesn't go the distance. But let me know what you lot think. Let me know who you man have got. Let me know if you think I've missed out any key elements in this prediction, or anything I've missed out that was important that I should have said. When I turn this video off and I listen back to it, there'll be hundreds of things that I'll be pissed off about that I didn't mention, but it is what it is. I do this freestyle, the top of my head. I got the beat running right there as well. I don't put the beat over, so it's very distracting with the beat running. But I enjoy it. I hope you man enjoy it. Kingdom of Boxing. I'm looking forward to this fight.